I'm in the right live. I'm gonna reset this one to be sure I'm in the live that was scheduled because I want to be sure everybody that's scheduled for this live is in the live. Okay, so I'll be right back. Um, hold on, let me go here and here in studio. Welcome in everyone on YouTube. I'm trying to set up my TikTok live, so please forgive me for being so late. But we get into it. We get into it. Okay, this is it. This is it. Okay, I wanted to be sure that I was on the right one. Okay, so let's go live here. My light is missing from right here. Okay. All right, we got that going. Okay, and then I just want to be sure I get everybody situated in here accordingly for the live. Okay, kind of reorganize some stuff, and I'm just over here trying to get my life together. Okay, okay. All right, so we're gonna start out with our Beatles here. As I catch my breath, y'all, let's take some deep breaths, okay? Because we're gonna get started with this live. But let's take some deep breaths. Cause sister is stressed, okay? Y'all see the ponytail? She's stressed, child. She's stressed. She's stressed. Trying to get it together. We're not even gonna go through our sponsors for today's live because I don't have them plugged in yet. Usually I am prepped and prepared before we even go live. But today I was outside, baby. I was outside. I went to not one but two happy hours. So now I am at home. Give me a quick second. I need to wash my hands. I did have the opportunity to get my station cleaned up. So we're going to go ahead and show you the first steps of prepping your nail station. So we want to start always with clean hands. Huh? Just ask him if it's the same thing. I'm already live. If it's the same thing, when I finish the live, I'll send it to him. I just saw a different picture, so I wanted to be sure before I sent it. Okay. So I've washed my hands. Hey, Journey. Hey, Cammy. Hey, Rivera. Hey, you are gay. Welcome into the live. As y'all can see, my skin is breaking out, so I got to put a little something on here. I got an event tomorrow in Dallas, and I'm like, baby, listen, we ain't got time. We ain't got time for all this and all that. Okay, so we're gonna put something on here that's gonna help my skin really, really good. Because you definitely want to have good skincare when you're on camera doing your lives. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this powder on. And after this, we need to pull out our nails. So I'm going to start at the beginning. Again, there's people that have not done nails before. They want to learn how to do nails. They don't know how to properly size their nails. So that's what we're going to actually start at. We're going to start at the sizing of the nails. Okay. That's what we're going to do first and foremost. You guys see me back here on the projector. What you're seeing is actually what's on my YouTube screen because I'm live on YouTube and TikTok at the same damn time. Okay, the products that I will be using in tonight's live are available in my showcase on YouTube. That link is attached to the live for you, so you can go ahead and purchase the products that we're going to be using for Cosmic Nails. We're actually going to be adding real crystals. This is actually some peridot, and I decided to take my peridot and crush it just a little bit more finer. So this is what you guys are seeing. These are the actual crushed peridot that we're going to use in tonight's live. I have all kinds of crystals. So we're doing cosmic nails. We're basically taking nails up a notch. Well, we're going to be adding live crystals to those nails. So I actually have some obsidian that I've added in here. You see these, the little black that you see is actually obsidian. We also have some rose quartz, but we're not using rose quartz tonight. On my station, I have my clear quartz, and I also have my pyrite, and I have my obsidian. That's listed. That's listed. That is right here on my station. Now, when you're sizing your nails, because these are nails that I actually plan on wearing, I'm going to actually go in with my Beatles kit, and I have the option to use either my stiletto or my coffin. And I haven't decided which ones I want to use yet. But for those of you that are not familiar with nail sizes, these are almond nails. So your almond nails are more rounded. Your stiletto nails are very pointed. And then your coffin nails, they go into that square like a coffin where they come up wide and they go in very narrow at the top. So this is the coffin, these are the stiletto, and these are the almond nails. Now, I'm not using the almond nails. I have taken my almond nails. These are Tip X Light, which are in the showcase. I usually take these and I either shape them into stiletto or coffin because me personally, I do not like almond nails. Okay. I kind of feel like let's do the stiletto nail. So we're going to go in with the stiletto nail. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some of these out, and we're going to do the nail prep. This is a 3-hour live, so this is going to be the first step to your nails. As you can see, we've already done a set of stiletto nails, so I need to go ahead and pull another one of these out. And since we're not going to do the Tip X Light coffin, I can go ahead and put these up. The first thing I want to do, if you can use cotton ball and alcohol, you can use your tissue, whatever you're using with your alcohol. I actually have alcohol pads, so I'm just going to clean my nail really good with the alcohol. Welcome in, Margie. Hey, Kiara. Hey, Mimi. Hey, De La Grigas. Kiara, Ari, Wimchole. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in, goats. Okay, so that's step number one. I'm not physically putting these nails on tonight, but if I was going to be putting my nails on, I want to take a shaper file that's really coarse. I would want to go in and etch my nail, and etching my nail, I would just take my nail and I'm going up and down like so. And then I will go from side to side, and I will get rid of all of that shine that's on my nail. And I want to be sure that my nails are clean underneath and shaped before I apply the nail. But we're not applying tonight. We're literally just doing the nail art tonight. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is go ahead and clean my nail off. The next thing I'm going to do, I already have these set up. I always do the smaller one for the pinky, and I try to put these in order. The larger, wider one is usually for my thumbnail. And then these 3 fingers, they really don't matter. They're about the same in size. And then the smaller one is for the pinky because that's a smaller nail. The thumb is always a larger nail. So we're going to do that. What I do not have set up right now is my garbage bag. I usually have a garbage bag to put my trash because you want to be sure that you keep your workspace as neat as possible. So I usually have a piece of tape that I go ahead and tape my garbage bag. So here's my tape right here. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 pieces of this off, and I'm going to take a small bag. Welcome in, Nini. Now you can take either a small garbage bag, or if you want to use one of your bags that you usually have your groceries in, like your Publix, your Albertsons, your Trader Joe's, your Aldi, your Central Market, your HEB, Walmart, whatever it is, and you just take that to the side of your workstation and you can keep working. This is the bag that I had from last week. So you can see all of my trash just went neatly in here as I was finished. This was from the Dollar Tree. So then once my bag is full, I just tie this bag up and it can go in the trash. Now that I need a new bag, I'm going to do the same exact thing to have a trash bag right next to my station. If you have a garbage can in your station, then that's fine. I don't. So I'm going to actually tape a garbage bag to the side. So one moment while I get my bag. Okay, so I have my bag right here, and all I'm going to do is take and put a piece of tape here, and I'm going to come around to this side and put a piece of tape, and then this piece will actually go right over, and I'm going to lift up my little workstation piece, and I'm going to take this in place, and now I have this nice little garbage bag that I can sit and put all of my trash in as I work. That way I don't have a lot of trash sitting on my station waiting to be discarded. I can clean as I work. Also, I told you all that I use this pad right here that is a spill-proof pad. It will capture anything that spills, whether it's liquid or solid, so it doesn't waste over on my granite countertop that I'm working from. I'm working on my kitchen island right now, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on top of my plastic bag. I have on top of that a towel, and then in addition to that, I have my paper towel that I'm going to be working with. So that's the start of my workstation. So over here on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys down a little bit so you can see the workstation a little bit clearer. So this right here is our leak-proof, waterproof system, and I'll bring you guys to TikTok. This is the leak-proof, waterproof that's on top of the granite countertop that you can see right here, so I don't waste anything on there. Then I have a towel on top of that, and then on top of the towel, I have my paper towel. So that's the start of my workstation. We have our crystals that we're going to be working with tonight. And just to show you all, I was playing around. Let's go ahead and turn this light on. Well, maybe I don't need that light. This is my kit that has all of the items that I'm going to be using in it as far as gel polishes go. So I'm going to put this to the side. This is the Beatles kit that you guys on YouTube see with the link that you can go to my YouTube page and order. So I was playing around with these colors because I was trying to decide, what do I want the base to look like? So I did like this one right here, because what we want is our base to have this very cosmic effect. So we have this one here. I actually tried this one. I didn't really like this one that much. It kind of has more of a Milky Way effect to it. And this was my first time trying the chrome powder. So this is my first time trying the chrome powder against this. And let's bring this light in a little bit so it's a little bit brighter. And then this is me trying just a clear. This was doing more of a clear shimmer. It's like a clear glitter, and trying that. And then we went in with more of a black glitter base. So I was really trying to identify, how do I want this set to look? So sometimes you have to play around. When I'm playing around, these are just some cheap nail tips. These are not my top end nail tips that I use to kind of get an idea of how I want to actually do these. I actually did like this one right here, which is more of a black glitter. I thought this came out pretty nice. We also have this one, which was more of a clear with black and gray glitter in it. I did like the way this one came out. This one I was not so much a fan of to use as the base. That really wasn't that wasn't my thing. This is another one. And on these, I didn't do any top coat because I was still trying to decide, like, what do I want to do? And because I'll probably go in and do some playing with those later with a different design, I didn't do a top coat. This was another one that I tried, like a black glitter, which is a darker black. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. But when I really looked at the ones that I practiced on last week, these were my favorite for the cosmic nail. So we're going to go ahead with this same pattern right here. Over on YouTube, let me see. I feel like you guys are just a little too dark. And I don't know if it's my camera or if it's the lighting. I really don't know. But I do want to take this lighting down some because the focus is not necessarily going to be my face. The focus is going to be the nail. Okay, so in here, in this kit, before we get into sizing the nails, this is the Beatles kits. And you can see this is really nice. Now I took the insides out and everything laid in. And now I have this really neat kit that has all of my items in it. I am not going to use the glitter top coat in this one. I am going to use the Beatles base gel foundation that comes in the kit. I'm also going to use the Beatles top coat that came with this particular kit. I'm going to use the blue. I'm going to use the yellow. Going to use the coral. And I have names for all of these colors. I'm going to use the turquoise, and I'm going to give you these names in a minute. And the other color that we are going to use is going to be the hot pink. We're going to use that one as well. Okay. We're not going to use the nail glue, but when I get ready to apply these, I will be using the nail glue. And with the nail glue, you apply the base coat, then the nail glue. Okay, so we're not going to do those. So give me 1 second. Mama is sick. Okay, so now that we have that done, I can take and put this to the side because I don't need to use any more of this. Now, with sizing the nails, a lot of people do not understand how to size your nail. So with your nail, there's a width across your nail. This is what you want to measure, and you want to measure it in millimeters. So when you measure it in millimeters, that helps determine what size nail tip you will wear. Each of these nail tips has a number on the inside. You guys can see right here, each of the nail tips have a number on the inside. Based on the measurement, that determines what size you wear on the inside of on your nail tip if someone's creating a set for you and you're not physically in front of them. Because this set is for me and I'm physically in front of me, I would actually take the tip like so, and I want to be sure it measures from side to side, sidewall to sidewall, with nothing left out. So if I was to try this nail, you can see that this is way too big because it's going over my sidewall. This is too big. If I was to use this one, this is actually the right size because it's fitting directly into my sidewall. if I go over to this thumb, this one actually fits on this thumb. Now my thumbs, one thumb is wider than the other, okay? If you look at my thumbs, one thumb is wider than the other, okay? If I had somebody create a set for me and they did both these sides, I could get away with it. But the reality is this thumb is actually a little bit wider, so this would be the right set. So when I'm setting my nails up, I'm setting left hand and right hand. Okay, so we're going to finish going through. So this is going to be thumb and thumb. Now we need to do forefinger. Now on this side, none of these forefingers fit, which means I need to go over to this one. Okay, so if I go over here to forefinger, this actually fits my forefinger. So I will put that to the right, to the left of the left hand, and on my right hand, it's going to go to the right. And now I want to measure my middle finger. Now I want to do the ring finger. And then I want to do my pinky. Okay, now I have all 10 of my nails that I need. So now I will take and put the rest of these up. And again, these are Beetles Tip X Light nails that I'm using. If you want to purchase just the nail tips, those are available in the showcase as well. You can click the cart here and you can select the nail tip size or the ones you want, whether you want almond, coffin, square, stiletto. Yes, sir.
So for the graduation party, right? What if we do it as a
yeah, you can do that. Okay, these are extras, so I'm gonna be sure I put these in here. Charles, come here. Where the hell did is my UV light on the floor down there? Okay, put that up here for me. We can move this out of the way. Thank you. Okay, the next step you want to do after you size your nails, and on future lives, I don't know if I'm always going to go through sizing your nails, shaping, prepping, but I am doing it on this live because this is my first true training live. So I'm going to go in with my nail file. This is a 180 grit nail file. And I am going to be sure that my stiletto is nice and sharp the way I want it to be. And for now, we're only going to focus on one hand because that might be as far as we get in this live. This live is set up for a 3-hour live. Then I'm going to go in with my buffing file. Okay, this is a buffer. This is a 180 grit file. I'm going to buff off any shine that I have. on this nail tip. Then I'm going to take this. I have a duster brush. I'm going to dust all the dust off of this. Then I'm going to take my stand that already has my adhesive on it, and I'm going to press my nail really into that adhesive. And so it sits like so. And then I'm just going to hit it with the buffer again to be sure everything is nice and buffed. And then that's going to go right up there on this. Then I'm going to go to the next finger, and we're working from the pinky into the thumb. Welcome in, Cheryl. So again, this is stiletto, which is going to be your pointed. Stiletto is a pointed tip. You can make this as pointed as you want it to be. Almond tends to be pointed, but it's rounded at the end. It's not a heavy point. Stiletto is a heavy point, so we're going in with our point. Now I'm going to go in again with my buffer, and you want to use the rougher side of the buffer, not the softer side. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing. We want to dust all of this dust off. Then we're going to go in with our adhesive, press really, really firm, and go in and finish buffing. And we're going to keep working. I'm going to move this right hand nails to the side since I will not more than likely have time to work on those during this live. Next, we're going to do the same thing with our ring finger, and we're just going to keep going in and shaping our nail, being sure it's really shaped the way we want it to be shaped. Now, if you want to just take it directly out of the kit and use it as it is and just get rid of the bump right there, you can. But if you really want to be sure that your nail is shaped to the way you want it to be shaped for your clients or for yourself, this is what you want to do. And then with the stiletto, you want to go in and go across the top like this to keep your point. Because if you start doing this around the point, you're actually going to get rid of your point. You're going to start rounding it out, and that's not what you want to do. So you just want to keep filing to get your point the way you want it. Go in with the rough side of your buffer. This comes in the kit as well. If you pick the Beetles starter kit that comes with the nail files, there's different kits that are available. If you already have all of your files and you just want a really good nail polish, gel polish, you can go in and just purchase the Beetle gel polish. And again, all the products that I'm using in today's live are available in my showcase. Okay, so we're going to go in and get rid of all of our dust. Push that adhesive in really good. Go in again just to be sure those sides where your finger was actually touching may not be as clear. So you want to get rid of those. And we have 2 more nails to go. Learn how to repurpose things. This right here was a candle top, and I decided to use this because when I'm ready to point, I can have my I don't know what to call this. We're going to call this like our metal nail holder. Okay, the nail holder can sit up a little bit higher instead of sitting completely flat. Because when you do someone's nails, their nails are never laying like this. And I feel like when you're doing this, this is what you're getting. Generally, when you're doing someone's nails, their nails are slightly elevated for you to work with them, even though you're going to be picking it up. But if you decide not to pick it up and just work on a flat surface, this actually helps me to elevate it. So now I'm going in on that next nail, which is for the forefinger. And I'm going in and making this really, really pointed. Going across the top to get rid of that little piece that is on there. Going in with my buffer. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Hey, 7 Plays. Hey, Natonia. Okay. And again, we're going to dust to get rid of our excess. We're going to go in and stick this on here. Then we're going to go in with our buffer and buff any remaining shiny areas that we see. And now we're down to our very last nail, which is the thumb. And just so you guys can see, this is what it looks like when it comes off. Okay, so you see there's like this little hoop thing right there. That's from when it got broke off. And as you can see, that's not as pointed as we want our stilettos to be. So what you're doing is going in and reinforcing the shape that you want versus just taking it as it came out. So I'm going to go in and start to make these more pointed. And then I'm going to just go right across. Then I'm going to go in with the buffer. Welcome in, CEO. Welcome in, Kalina. And get rid of all this shine that's on the nail. Now, some people will say, you don't have to do all of that. It's up to you if you choose to do it or not. I will like to say, when I did acrylic nails, before we laid the acrylic, we always made sure that we made the nail dull to be sure that the acrylic will actually adhere to the nail. So I'm using that same thought process for the gel nails because we want our base coat to adhere before we start applying our acrylic. So now I'm just gonna, and I feel like this could be a little bit sharper of a point. So I'm just going to go in and make this point a little sharper. Again, tonight's live, we will be doing cosmic nails. So now we have all of our nails the way we actually want them to be. I still feel like on YouTube, you guys don't have enough light. I don't know why. I just feel like the lights. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better. Okay, now that we've done that, we want to go in with our Beetles base gel. Again, this comes in the kit. If you purchase the kit, if you are on TikTok, you can click the carts. If you have questions about any product that's in the cart, let me know. Also, the tips that I'm using are Beetles Tip-X Light. So the apex, which is this area right here, this is your apex, is not as high. So when you're doing acrylic nails, you'll learn either a 3-ball or a 2-ball or a 1-ball method. So a 3-ball method, your first ball is going to be right here near the base. And then your second ball is going to be right in here. And your third ball is closer to the tip. The fourth ball, which is considered to be a stress ball, is actually to create the apex, to give that natural curve that nails have. In a 2-ball method, you're starting down here, but you're using a lot more acrylic, and you're pulling down this way, and then you're pulling in the second ball, and you're pushing backwards, so you're building your apex. The 1-ball method, you're starting with a whole lot, and you're going to keep smoothing and forming that to have a apex. Some people like a really large apex. Some people don't like their apex to be that high. So that's what the apex is. This is apex light. So the apex does not sit that high. So what we want to do first is go in with our base coat. If you have a 2-in-1 base coat, you can use that. A 2-in-1 base coat is basically the base coat is also the top coat. The correct way to polish nails, you take your polish, you take your brush toward the end, you fan the brush flat and smooth out, and then you'll go around the side. And then if there's excess, you want to smooth that out so you don't have too much product on the nail. And you do that on all the nails. This is the proper way to polish. We're not doing a build up. Like if we were doing a gel build, that's a different process. We are polishing the nails with a gel polish. So we don't want to pat starting at the base and coming forward, because again, what we are doing is polishing. So you want to polish the nail, not build anything on the nail. Okay, so again, to polish the nail, you get the polish on the nail and you fan and come up and you go around your sides, and then you're going to even out. And you guys will see this a lot better when I go in with a color, but I'm showing you here. Fan, spread out, go around the sides. And what I'm doing here is getting rid of the excess polish that's on the brush. And then, oh, this just touched, my finger touched this. I hate when that happens. Go in and tap just around the sides to be sure that there's none that's flowing over, because if it is gel flowing over, once you cure it, you are going to have to file that down. So I'm going to go ahead and cure this for 60 seconds, and I can close up my base polish. How's everybody doing today? We can get some likes on TikTok. It's greatly appreciated. Welcome in everybody on the YouTube channel. And on TikTok, what you guys will see back there is actually what everyone on YouTube is seeing. So on YouTube, the only thing they see is my hand and the product actually working. And I just realized what I don't have is my piece of foil. So let me grab that. And I'm just choosing regular foil. I'm not using any special types of foil. I think okay, so here's the piece of foil I have. So to do this, all I'm gonna do is break this in half, like so. And that creates a crease, and that crease, I break it in half. Then I take those two pieces and I put them together, and I fold those two pieces in half again to make these even. And then I take those pieces together and I fold them in half again. And now I have these really nice little pieces of foil that I can use to put my gel polish in as I'm working. And when I'm finished, all I have to do is throw it away. Some people have those really cute pieces of stone that they use. I just use a piece of foil. Okay, so now that we have our base coat put on, the next thing we want to do is put on our base color. Now, I have decided that I want my base color to actually be pink. So my base color of this nails for my right hand is going to be pink. So all I'm going to do is start to paint the base color. So I'm going to pull my polish out. Hold on, this one flipped. And you can take these off. If you're more comfortable taking these off and polishing it, you can. And you can cure them as you finish. Or you can leave it on here and just do your polish all at one time and cure them all together. Okay, so again, we're going to start at the base. We're going to fan out. We're going to go slowly all the way to the tip. We're going to come around the side and go to the tip. Then we're going to go to the other side and go to the tip. And then we're just going to even it out. So we have a really smooth coat of polish on the nail. Okay, so we have this really nice smooth coat of polish. And we're going to keep doing that process across all the nails. Again, I'm using Beetle's polish, Beetle's gel polish. They actually have a regular nail polish now. I am not using Beetle's regular nail polish. I'm using Beetle's gel polish. And we're just going to keep this going down. Down, down, down. I have found that doing nail art has given me a really nice relaxation comfort level. I'm the type of person, when I have a hobby to do when I'm feeling stressed, it actually helps to soothe me. So I actually paint sometimes. I make jewelry. I make waist beads. And what I have found is that doing nail art is actually giving me more of a comfort soothing than doing any of those other things. So this is why now it's just my thing to do in this season, is just to focus on doing nail art because it just makes me feel a lot better. As I continue to navigate through life, some people always think, oh, when I get back to myself, when I get back to myself. When tragedies happen in life, you never get back to your old self simply because that old self no longer exists. The old self people struggle to get back to is the self that was there before the tragedy. Well, once you have a tragic action happen in your life, your old self can't come back because that tragedy now exists. So now we have these really smooth nails. So we're going to go ahead and cure these. So you can't go back to your old self. You have to find a new you. Okay. And that means, excuse me, I actually have a picture that says life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. So as life tragedies happen, you have to internally find that new person that is within you that is going to come forth to help take you through those new seasons, acknowledging whatever trauma occurred, whether you lost a loved one, you might have went through a bad divorce or a bad breakup or whatever it may have been. You have to develop to this new person that can embrace that tragedy but still keep living and elevating to the next level. And for some people, they get stuck in trying to get back to them old selves, and that's why they're always in limbo, because the old self no longer exists. So hopefully that helps someone as much as it helped me, as I went through this realization. Okay, so next what we're going to do is put our colors down. This color, okay, first of all, I get my polish this color. This gel polish is called Gem Totally Outrageous. If you're familiar with Gem, the cartoon in the 80s, Gem Totally Outrageous, that's why I named this color. This color is very bright like the sun, so I call this one Beach Me Please. So we're going to do just a couple drops of this. I feel like 3 drops should be sufficient for all 5 nails. If we need more, we can always add more. But if you do too much, you cannot add that back into the bottle. The color we're going to do after we do the Beach Me Please is actually going to be this Cape Coral, okay, which reminds me, it's very Florida, so the Florida curls. So this is where I get the Cape Coral color from. So again, we're going to do a few drops of that as well. The next color we want to go in with is Tiffany Blue, because this very much so reminds me of the color of Tiffany's. If you guys are familiar with Tiffany's and the Tiffany boxes, they're this real pretty turquoise type blue color. And to me, this is close enough for me to call it a Tiffany Blue. So again, we're going to do a couple drops of this, and I feel about 3 drops is sufficient for all 5 of the nails. And this color right here, I call Blues Clues, Blues Clues Blue. Welcome in, Nola. Welcome in, Mary. So we're going to put a couple drops of this color down as well. And this one, I feel like 2 drops is sufficient because this is actually the very last color that we use. Okay, so now we have this as our base color right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put those down there. I'm going to pick up my dotting tools, and these come in different sizes. So I want to start with the largest size dotting tool that I have, which is actually going to be this blue. So TikTok, I'm going to go ahead and lean you guys in so you can see a little bit better. So first, we're going to start off. I almost forgot. Hold on. I need the blooming gel. Hold on, because that's what I didn't take out. So let's pull out our Beatles box. And let's pull out our blooming gel because that's what we're missing. And let's figure out where we put it, because the show ain't up in here. Hold on, baby. Let's see, I think I stuck it over here, maybe. Okay, so we're going to go in with the blooming gel. So we're going to do a nice coat of blooming gel on all of these. And we're just going to go across each of these with a blooming gel as we work on our cosmic nail design. Again, the products that I'm using are available in my TikTok shop. If you're joining us on YouTube, you can click the link in the video that will take you over to my TikTok shop so you can purchase the products that I'm using so you can create your own at home. Anyone joining from TikTok, you can click the cart that's right here on this live so you can go ahead and purchase the products. You can create your own cosmic nails at home. We will be selecting 3 winners in today's live. You have to be here for the live in order to receive the crystals that are applied to these nails. Now, what's different from these nails is that I am applying real crystals to the nails. So if you are a spiritual baddie and you want spiritual baddiness at your fingertips, this is the set that you want to do, which is why we're calling them cosmic nails, because we're pulling in crystals into the nails. And we're using peridot today, which is also the birthstone for August. If you're a Virgo, then that is your birthstone. We're also going to be using a little bit of obsidian. Obsidian is also the crystal that is used for protection. So I've taken and crushed mine up. This is not what you will receive for my winners. Your crystals are going to come from this bag of crystals that I have. Now, I also make candles. I didn't tell you guys that either. I actually have a candle that I make, which is a money manifestation candle. And I actually add crystals into my candles. So I have a lot of crystals here. So you have the peridot crystals. I also have rose quartz crystals. This is some more of the obsidian crystals. I have other ones, but they're way over there, so we won't get them. I have tiger eye. I have so many crystals, but the ones for tonight's giveaway will be the peridot crystals. Okay, now that I have applied the blooming gel, the next thing I want to do is go in, and I'm actually going to start on the thumb, which is the larger one. I'm going to go in and use my dotting tool. Welcome in, Devin. Welcome in, Unique. You guys over on TikTok, can we get the likes up to 1,000? We have like 10 people in the room, but only 1 like. It's only 1 like, but there's people here watching. We have, hold on. We have Natalie for life. Natalie for life, welcome to the live. You've been here for a while. If you can tap the screen, it's greatly appreciated. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll my dotting tool into the Beach Me Please. And I want to come directly in the middle with Beach Me Please. And I want to create like an oval. And then I just want to leave that alone and let it do what it's going to do. And I'm going to repeat the same process on all the nails. I'm going to add a little bit more on here to the thumb. And then I'm going to go across all of my nails doing that same process. Just right in the middle, we're going to go in and create this oval. And that's going to start to bloom with the blooming gel. Okay, we have been live now for coming up on 1 hour. So we will start to look to see who's in the room. The giveaway is only on TikTok. The giveaway is not on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, please join the live on TikTok for Top Styles. And I'll give you guys a couple minutes to make it over. Okay, now we're just going to let that bloom. Okay, these are cosmic nails that we're making. So we're just going to allow that to sit and bloom. And this is why we have our paper towel, so we can just wipe that directly off with gel polish. You can use alcohol to clean your tools until you clean it, or you can use acetone. You can just wipe it right off. Welcome in, Korean Brulee. Okay, so for this giveaway on TikTok, if you want to be entered in the giveaway, give me a 1 in the chat. Give me a 1 in the chat to be entered into the giveaway. Okay, now this is bloomed really nice. Enter a 1 in the chat for the giveaway. Welcome in, Ruth. So the next color I'm going to go in with is my Florida Coral. And I'm actually going to go to a different dotting tool. And I want to take the Florida Coral, and we're putting that right in the middle of where we put the Beach Me Please. And we're just going to keep going down all the nails, doing that same process. And we're going to allow it time to actually bloom, because what we want to create is more of a cosmic type effect. And then we're going to go in and start to add in our crystals and rhinestones for this design. No ones in the chat. If I don't see ones in the chat, then I feel like y'all don't want to participate in the giveaway. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. It's a TikTok crystal giveaway, and you know you want it now. So we're just going to let those bloom. So this is going to sit and bloom as well. This is why we're calling these cosmic nails. I'm going to go ahead and pull out our rhinestones. We're just going to be using clear rhinestones for the design. We're going to let that sit for a while. Okay, let me see. Trying to see how to add this. Uh-oh, y'all. Can't get this. Okay, there it is. All right, I'm still looking for those giveaway entries. Okay, now we're going to go in. Our next color is going to be our Tiffany blue. And we're going to do the same with the Tiffany blue. And I'm kind of doing these instead of just a circle. I'm making it go down like a line for the Tiffany blue. So you can get really creative when you're doing these. Okay, and then we're just going to sit and let that bloom. Just going to let it sit and do its thing. Do you think there's a, do you think there's a? I feel like this need a little bit more. Welcome in, everyone. Hey, y'all over on YouTube. So we're just letting this bloom. So it's almost going to look like a tie-dye effect almost when it keeps blooming. Excuse me. Now I'm going to go on with the smallest one I have, and I'm going to go on with my Blues Clues blue. And I'm going to go around each of these. Creating my cosmic effect. We're going to let that bloom. Okay, we're just going to let that sit and bloom. And then as I'm looking at this, anywhere that you might decide you want to put a little more color to bloom, feel free to do that. So now I'm just adding some extra razzle dazzle. Okay, the first giveaway has passed. We don't have any entries. You had to be live and you needed to type a 1 in the chat to be entered. Because I don't want to enter anyone in the giveaway if they don't want to be entered, because I do have to mail the product out to you. Okay. All right, I'm satisfied with how this looks. I think maybe there's lights. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and cure this. We are 1 hour into this live. Now we can start getting ready for our crystals. This, I'm going to pull out our tweezers. I also have a little scoop. So we're going to scoop. We're going to scoop some of our crystals out right here. And we also want to use some really small rhinestones. We don't want to use the large ones. So we're going to scoop a couple of those out as well. So right now I want to flip all of my crystals over. So the shiny side is actually up. Okay, so now that these are ready for our crystals, see how nice and cosmic these look? Because that's the effect we want. We want them to look really nice and cosmic. So now we're going to go in with our top coat gel. And we just want to lay our top coat gel on each of these. We will have another giveaway at 1 hour and 45 minutes into the live. You must be in the live to be part of the giveaway. If you're not active in the live, you're not part of the giveaway. And you have to put a 1 in the chat. I need a 1 in the chat to be part of the giveaway. And you have to be live to participate. Okay, now that we have all of those laid, I'm going to take my tweezers. Okay. I'm going to take my tweezers and just sporadically lay the peridot on the nails. Sometimes I wonder what's going on, but then I realize ain't nothing going on. Sometimes I wonder what's going on, but then I realize ain't nothing going on. So this is the actual peridot that I'm laying on the cosmic nails. This is 100% authentic and real peridot crystals. And I want to use all of these crystals that I have on this paper towel. And now we're getting to like the really, really small pieces, and those are just going to get dropped in here. Okay, now I want to go in and start laying. I want to go in and start laying the rhinestones. And to lay the rhinestones, all I have to use is my dotting tool. I can tap and pick up and lay. What was now is forever and always can be. Can be. All right, come on, flip over, child. Flip over, child. And we're just going to keep laying rhinestones across these nails until we don't have any rhinestones left. So some nails might have more rhinestones and some might have less. Oh, and you know what? I just realized I was supposed to do something. Hold on. Let's start it right here. It's supposed to be 3 rhinestones next to each other. 2. 3. 1. 2. Okay, we're almost done on these. Uh-oh. Okay, and we just laying these rhinestones. I have one on here, but it's on its side, and I'm trying to get it. There it is. Just trying to get it to lay flat. And I don't have any more. Let me get one rhinestone out of here. I feel like this needs a couple more rhinestones. Okay, and then we have a couple of just peridot crystals. We're gonna drop, excuse me. Okay, I like that. Now what we're going to do is, let me see, where did I put them at? Because they're cosmic nails, think outer space. We're just gonna go in. just around the tip. And I'm adding just a little bit of black around the tip. We have a couple more colored rhinestones that we're going to be putting on. Hey, Rage Vader. Now these rhinestones are going to be a little larger. And we are almost done with the right hand. Oh. So think of these to be like your asteroids that you would see in outer space. These gold ones that I'm putting on right now. We're almost done. Once we're finished, we're going to cure this. Add a couple more asteroids on here. Uh-oh, where did it go? I lost that one. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and cure these. We have another giveaway coming up. We need a 1 in the live, in the chat. And then while those are curing, we have this other set that we need to go ahead and prep for the left hand. Welcome in, Maria Love. No one's in the chat for the giveaway. Nobody wants the crystals. And we're just going in and shaping those other nails to give them the stiletto shape that we want them to have. And these are the ones that are going to be for the right hand. Now, tomorrow I will be in Dallas. So we will go live, but it may not be a live nail tutorial. It might just be me out and about wearing my nails in Dallas, where you guys will actually see which set I decided to wear, because I've made so many different sets. I don't know which set I want to wear yet. Okay, and we want to go in and buff to get rid of the shine on the nails. Okay, welcome in, Cam. Okay, we still don't have any ones in the chat for the live giveaway. We have 15 minutes to the live giveaway. We need a 1 in the chat to be part of the live giveaway. And at this point, if you end up being the only one in the chat, guess what? You would win the giveaway. And the giveaway is for you to receive the peridot crystals. Okay, so we got these pretty much ready. So when these other ones are done, they will come off. And then we will be going in with our right hand. Okay, now we're going to go in. These are very gorgeous. We're going to go in with our top coat to cover all of our designs and nail art. So you want to go in and just brush around all of the peridot and the crystals. Then you want to smooth all of that out. And you're going to do that on each of these nails. Just kind of dabbing to be sure you get all around it. Then going in and smoothing that out. Okay, this is the finished set on the right hand. I'm sorry, this is for the left hand. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cure those. Now for this next hand, I did hot pink on this one for my base. On the next hand, I'm actually going to do the coral for the base. So the hot pink is going to end up being the color that we add in. When we go to get our cosmic effect on the nails. And I think that should be sufficient. How's everybody feeling today? Welcome in, M Blockers. How you doing? I was a little sleepy. I'm a little sleepy. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay, we got 10 minutes to the giveaway. We need a 1 in the chat to be part of the giveaway. Okay, so here is our finished nail. I'm going to go in with our alcohol. Shape under. And go ahead and pull that off and put this one on. I keep trying and I'm tired of it all. child. Jesus, 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 Jesus. You're the reason why I sing. Glory, hallelujah. I give my praises to you. You're the reason why I sing. Okay, so we have these. I'm going to go ahead and put my base coat on. Welcome in, welcome in. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cure that. Okay, so this is what we have. Just so you guys can see, I love these. I think these are going to be the ones I wear. These are my cosmic nails. Absolutely gorgeous. Brushing the dust out the inside of these. Okay, now we're going to follow the same exact steps we did for the left hand. The only difference is that we're changing our base coat polish. We're going to use the Florida Coral for these. All right, we're just doing our base coats before we go in and start our cosmic effect on our nails. After we have the cosmic effect on the nails, we'll go in and lay our crystals. Then we'll do our top coats and we'll be finished. We have 5 minutes to the next giveaway. I still don't have any ones in the chat. To be part of the giveaway, you have to be present and you must put a 1 in the chat to be entered in the giveaway. I feel like it's a better way to do this live giveaway. So while we're waiting on this to cure, I'm going to see. Y'all see how I'm painting this nail completely wrong? I'm not painting this wrong and it looks a mess. I mean, I'm painting it wrong and it looks a mess. So let me paint it the right way so it can look accordingly. Okay. So there we have, this is the base of this one. So let's see how to do this live giveaway. Live giveaway. Okay, I found it. To enter, must be live, must be present to win. Huh. Let's see if it's doing it. It should be a countdown that started for the live giveaway. You have to be in the live and you need a 1 in the chat. And you must be present to win. Okay, so now we have our base. We're going to go in first with our blooming gel. I don't know why I always forget the blooming gel. Where did the blooming gel go? Okay, so now that that's cured, we're going to go in with our blooming gel. All right, I'm going in with the blooming gel. I'm keeping my eye out for the ones in the chat to be entered into the live giveaway. We're going to start with the Beach Me Please. Okay, and then we're gonna just let these colors sit and bloom. Add a little bit more to each one. Okay, we're just gonna let that sit and bloom. Hey, Dirty K. Hey, S. Okay, that's blooming. Now we're gonna go in directly in the middle with a drop of the hot pink on each of these and allow that to bloom. And then for my Tiffany blue, I'm actually gonna come out doing a slightly different design. We're gonna let that bloom. We're gonna let that bloom. Then we're gonna go in with our Tiffany blue. And we're just gonna let all of those colors bloom. Hey, Dirty K, if you want to be entered in the giveaway, type of one in the comments. Okay, so that's what we have now. I'm liking the effect and look of these. So we're gonna go ahead and cure these. I'm done with this. Now I can just take this instead of needing to clean something off, and I can take this foil and throw it away. Now I need to take a scoop of the peridot out. This one has a couple pieces of the obsidian in it. We're going to take a couple scoops of our clear rhinestones. Well, not a couple, just a scoop. And we want to be sure that these are all face up so they're easy to actually pick up. I need to check and be sure my rug is dry. I have not even packed my bag yet. I probably would have been better off leaving on Saturday morning instead of Friday. Ain't even gonna hold y'all. Okay, and then we want to add a couple of these gold rhinestones, which is going to be like our boulders. Think outer space. So we're just going to use our little scoop to take a couple of these out. And they have different sizes. So we're also going to flip these over. And on this set, we're actually going to put our gold rhinestones down first. Okay, so we have this all set. Now we're going to go in. This is pretty. We're going to go in with our Beetles top coats. Again, all the products that I'm using are available in my TikTok showcase. Just be patient. Some gonna work out somehow. Just be patient. Don't give up now. I want it fast, quick, fast in a hurry. Because the vision gets blurry. I want it fast, quick, and in a hurry. Okay. Our top coat. It's what's going to help hold our rhinestones in place as we place them. Okay, so each one, and I'm actually going to do this really thin one right here. I'm going to do this one right there. I'm going to do this one right here. And we're just sporadically laying the gold rhinestones on. Okay, we have no ones in the chat. We are coming up on 2 hours of the live. There's a total of 2 giveaways that have passed because ain't nobody want to enter into the giveaway. This was my first time trying to do a giveaway on the live. which means it's probably going to be my last time because there's no participants. Okay, now that we have these on here, we can go in and lay on our obsidian. We have little pieces of obsidian that is throughout this peridot that I put on there on purpose. Okay, now we're going to actually start laying our peridot crystals. And we are just laying these on here. Welcome in, everyone, between the two channels. Okay, and we're still just laying our peridot on here. And I'm trying to pick up the larger pieces and place them. No. Oh. Okay, now that we have that laid on here, we're going to go in, and again, if you just tap and place, you can place the rhinestones. And once I finish this is going to complete our live. If there's ones in the chats, we'll go ahead and do the giveaway. But if there's not any ones in the chats, that will be the end of this live. Welcome in, Mackenzie. Where the rhinestone go? It disappeared and went over there. Why go over there, man? I have no idea. Somebody. yeah, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. All right. And we're just gonna keep going through and laying our rhinestones down. Love come down. We are in the second quarter. I have to plan my trip to New York. And I kind of feel like New York is going to come after Chicago because I have to go to Chicago for my son's graduation. Um, so let me pick this up so I can see it. So I can see a little more clearer. I can see clearly now. I'm going to go ahead and put this one in. I don't want my rhinestones to keep falling off. The rhinestones are rolling, 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 rolling. We're almost there, almost there. I don't know what set I'm going to do next. I'm still waiting on a couple of products to come in because I do want to start practicing flowers. But I don't know why this product is taking so long to come in. I ordered it like way last month and it's still not here yet. So I don't know what's up with that child. But as soon as that comes, because I don't really know how to make the flowers, I've seen them done, but I have not myself done them yet. Back when I did nails, the flowers we did were drawn on. They weren't these 3D flowers that everyone's doing now. So that's what I want to practice next. This was something I think I was playing around. I seen somebody's design and I had an idea and I started playing around with these. And then I had an idea to add crystal to it. So that's where these cosmic nails came from. This was something that was inspired by somebody else's design. They were just doing like the outer space type look. And I was like, oh, that'd be neat. And I can add some crystals to it. So that's where this particular idea was birthed from. It was inspired by someone else's design here on TikTok. So as you scroll throughout the app, you'll always get inspiration from other creators, and you take that creation and you make it your own. So they basically inspire your creativity. So shout out to that creator. I can't recall who it was because I was just scrolling. And it was 2 days later when I had the thoughts and I sat down and actually started working toward this. And now here we are. Here we are, baby. Here we is, sugar. I still have dreams and aspirations. And it's derby season, so I'm kind of excited to be able to go out and participate in some derby activities in the coming months. because it is derby season and I never really get to go. I always plan to do stuff and something always comes up. I don't know why, but that's just the way my life goes. But we gonna make it this time. And let's put that peridot right there. Now I'm just gonna go over these with this peridot dust that I have, and wherever these little pieces of dust fall, cool. If they don't fall anywhere, that's cool too. I want to be sure everything is pulled in. Okay, this is what we have. We're going to go ahead and get that going. I'm going to go ahead and take my peridot that I didn't use, and that's going to go right back in this bag that we'll use on other designs as design ideas come to me. We're done with this. So that can go in the trash. We're done with this. This can go in the trash. Got a little rhinestone right here. I'm just going to throw this in the trash too. These are done. So you just start cleaning up. Hey, welcome in, Netta. Put that away. Actually using a little acetone here, cleaning my dotting tools. Putting those up. Cleaning my tweezers off, being sure that there's nothing on the tweezers. You always want to be sure that you clean up your workstation after each set, just as you would clean up your station after each client if you actually have clients that you deal with. I'm going to put these nails in here that we didn't use from earlier. For some reason, they missed the bag. Take my peridot and I'll stick that right in there so it doesn't get lost. We're done with this. We can put this up. Again, all the products that are used are from Beetles. They are available in my showcase on TikTok. I'm going to put these. This was the summer box that I'm using the summer box color, so I'm going to put all of that back. You get a top coat, a base coat. You get these really gorgeous large size bottles in these pretty summer colors. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of those back. I'm actually going to put crystals. This is rose quartz and obsidian. We will be working more with crystals. This is all the peridot. This is part of the live giveaway that nobody wanted to participate in, and I'm not upset and even mad about it. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm going to just go ahead and put those in there, and we can put that away. Now we can go ahead and take our nails out. These nails have been cured. We're going to go in with our alcohol pad. Going to wipe each nail. Go around the nail. Be sure that there's no polish that dripped over. These are our finished nails from tonight's live. Again, I am live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Every live may not necessarily be me doing nail art. Some lives might be me actually out and about in the city, traveling or wherever I'm at, but you will actually see nails that I created actually on. These are the nails from tonight's live. The first set, we did the base coat in the gems pink. The second nail, we did the base coat in the coral blue. Okay, so this is all. This is all 10 of those nails that were created in tonight's live. I think they came out really nice. These are cosmic nails. They have real peridot on top of the nail, and then it's supposed to give you that outer space cosmic effect. That's what I went for. This live lasted 2 hours and 12 minutes. We had a total of 3 giveaways, but no participants in the giveaways. This is actually the end of this live. I thank you all for joining me, because you could have been anywhere else in this moment in time, but you chose to spend your time here with me on this live. Even though you didn't want to participate in the giveaway, I'm absolutely fine with that. It's okay, darling. It's okay. So now I'm putting all of my products away, cleaning everything off. So this goes in here along with these. And on our next live, I will be giving away a set of nails. So if you are on the live and you want a pair of nails, I will be posting how to size your nails: extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. Those are the sizes I will go by. They will not be custom nails, but the set will be delivered to you. Thank you all for joining today's live, and have a super cosmic day. Love you. Bye.